Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Kumusta naman ang sem break natin tonight? Pero syempre, hindi tayo papapigil. Kahit sem break, meron pa rin tayong episode ng Open Mic. Welcome to the fourth episode of the third season. Good evening sa lahat na nanonood. Please do share the episode tonight para mas maraming makanood, and let's share the good vibes sa lahat ng mga sa buong Lourdesian community and even beyond. Ayan. So I hope everyone is doing well. Nakakapagpahinga ngayong break and taking the time to reflect and of course, unwind ngayong break natin, semestral break. So without further ado, I would like to introduce my co-hosts for tonight. From the student government, we have Abraham Torres, and from the Lourdes Loop, we have Rico Arnaez. Good evening,
everyone.
Hi, evening.
Good evening. So bago tayo magsimula, meron ba kayong mga gustong i-shout out from your end, from your personal end?
I'll start muna. Today is October 29, which is also the birthday of our dear advisor, Sir Lazada. So happy birthday, Sir Lazada. I hope you have a great year ahead of you. How about you, Abe's?
Siyempre sa akin naman, I want to shout out my Nations of Lacony and our advisor, Sir Ramirez. Hi, sir!
Ayan. So, pareha silang advisor ang shinout out na why ang mga advisor nyo nakakapagpahinga din ngayong sem break. Ayan. Kasi kagagaling lang din namin sa employees retreat. So, I hope, I wish your advisors a restful break as well. And now, before we get into our topic, Abraham, can you give us a rundown of what the SG has been busy with in the past couple of weeks?
Actually, in the past couple of weeks, the SG has been doing project proposals and the preparation for the dreaded proposals to the administrators of the final projects. So right now, we are going through the technicalities, the qualifications para ma-approve and tama yung ginagawa namin in the SG. What about you, Rico? Ano naman ginagawa niyo sa Loop?
Ang sipag naman ng SG ng Lourdes. For Lourdes Loop, we have the Loop Malupitang Animations Episode 2 titled Nano Po. So make sure to check it out if you still haven't. And we also had a post last October 17 for our dear teachers. And while we're still technically in the month of October, I'd like to greet again a happy National Teachers Month to all our beloved educators.
Ayan. Thank you, Rico and Abram. Na-curious lang ako, no? Abram, bakit dreaded? Bakit ang proposal ay dreaded?
Sir, kasi based...
Ang specific?
Sobrang scary po kasi na parang pinapakita na or sinasabi ng mga predecessors namin or yung mga past SG, parang they're saying na it's very hard to approve, it's very hard to collect data and reliable statistics. So, grabe, the pressure is on, sir.
Okay. But syempre, it's only difficult if you're not prepared. So, better come as prepared as you can para hindi na siya dreaded. Kasi kaya nyo naman yan. Di ba, Abraham?
Take note of that, Abe's.
Malapit na yan. I think that will be during
Yes,
the first
sir,
week
yes.
of
Kakayanin, sir,
November.
kakayanin.
Pagbalik, we'll be facing the administrators to present the proposals of the student government. Ayan. So without further ado, let's get on with our topic. Ano ba ang topic natin tonight? From what I saw from the PubMats that were posted before, our title is OK Zoomer. Can you tell us more about this, Abraham and Rico?
Okay, so as mentioned by Sir Mike, this episode is entitled Zoomers, OK Zoomers, which is, by the way, very witty. Pero ano nga ba ang Zoomers? Zoomers, or more commonly known as Generation Z, is defined to be those with birth years roughly between 1997 to 2012. this compares with their millennial generation, or also known as the Generation Y.
That was added information for this is actually Generation Z comprises of those who grew up deeply connected with technology from the moment they were self-aware. So basically, for a topic like that, Generation Z are characterized by interesting and specific.
Ang dalawa. What's the
Ikaw yun
most
ba?
Gen
Also, it is good.
Can't relate.
what's the most Gen Z thing that you've observed as a Gen Z?
I believe not to say that it's bad or good, but we tend to romanticize mental illnesses or different types of sicknesses and parang make dark humor out of it. Like kunyari, ginagawang joke yung pagiging bawal sabihin basta yon.
Oh, yeah.
What about you naman, Rico?
Ngayon ko lang nalaman or na-realize yung ganong aspect ng generation natin. But siguro for me, we're more politically, socially, economically, environmentally aware of our surroundings. Feeling ko kasi like, especially as Filipinos of today, like we saw our current state as a nation. So feeling ko like our generation really saw this culture here in the Philippines. So feeling ko as a generation Z and a Filipino, we're very aware of our society as in general. So I think it's really good na we see these kinds of things as a generation. So back to you, Sir Mike.
Siyempre may ambag ako. As a Gen Z, just kidding. Siyempre hindi ako Gen Z, pero siyempre as a guidance counselor, I am pretty much learned and aware of what you guys are going through. It's part of what I do so that I will be able to understand you better. Pinag-aaralan din yan. Pinag-aaralan ko din siya. So, isa rin sa na-observe ko yung sinabi ni Abram, no? You tend to romanticize things. Okay? So, parang ito rin yung generation na tinawag the meme generation. The meme culturists, di ba? Parang lahat pwedeng gawing meme. Lahat ginagawang meme. Minsan overboard. Di ba? Would you agree, Abraham? Minsan overboard. And
Yes,
back,
sir, I would agree.
building on what Rico mentioned, Gen Zs are very outspoken. Di ba? Dahil nga, since the time that you were self-aware, you are already introduced to social media and technology. You are the generation is very outspoken, very liberal in terms of views, very vocal. May it be personal or or through social media. Yung minsan nga, di ba, nauuna pa yung post bago fact check. Nauuna pa yung tweet bago tumulong. Yung mga ganon. Mga ganong tendencies ng Gen Z. So, with that being said, Gen Z's being outspoken, patunayan natin outspoken nga ang mga Gen Z. Let's now introduce our guests, Rico and Abraham.
Okay, so for our first guest, we have
Wonderful and very...
Good evening. Before we get on with our topic, meron ba kayong mga gustong i-shout out muna? Simon, Gian, and James.
Ako na siguro mauna, Sir Mike. So good evening muna pala sa ating mga viewers. So gusto ko muna palang i-shoutout yung kaibigan ko na si Deli Rioan. I know she's watching right now. So shoutout tayo. I hope you're enjoying your day, no? And shoutout rin sa St. Bernard, ang section namin. And ulit, na-shoutout na to ni Rico, si Sir Lozada dahil birthday niya ngayon. Sir, happy birthday po. And I hope you will have a great day. Yun lang, sir.
How about Gian and James?
So I'll go first. I'd like to shout out my bestie, Kino, the gatekeeper. He's been always with me for like everything that's going on. So thank you. And that's that. And for Sir Lazada, happy birthday. I hope you're enjoying. Sana wag ka nang magtampo. We love you so much.
Hindi pagtatampo. That's a story for another day.
Okay, so I'm the last one kasi Sir madami-dami akong shoutout. So isa-isahin ko na. Shoutout po kay Josh Bautista, kay Christoph Malik, kay William Cunanan, kay Angelo Barlong, kay Bobert Enrique. Tsaka sa Largo Twins, happy birthday nga pala, kahapon birthday. Shoutout din kay Sir Lozada, happy birthday sir. Tsaka shoutout sa St. Ignatius.
No?
Okay, fast talk. So let's make it fast. Let's start with
Yes.
Gian. Night owl or early bird?
Night bird po.
Night-
Okay.
Ay, sige, sure. Pwede.
How about Simon? Night owl ka ba or early bird, Simon?
Depende. Pero, night owl na lang. Sige.
Night owl.
Night owl.
How about you, James?
Night out talaga for the win. Hashtag puyat.
Oh, nice one. For the next question naman, recite ba kayo sa class or sa chat kayo nagsasagot? Let's start with you, James ulit.
Chat ako sa sagot kasi nahiya talaga ako. So,
Okay, same actually, same. Ikaw naman, Gian, what about you?
Yes, Gian. Simon, back to you.
Yeah, Simon,
Oh.
yes.
Nagre-recite po ako vocally. So, yan.
I can attest to that, Simon.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Next naman, digital notes or written notes? Simon.
Digital notes.
Ikaw ba, Gian?
I don't personally take notes pero written notes na lang. Written
Okay.
notes.
If ever magsusulat siya, written talaga. Hindi.
How about
Oh,
you,
nag-good
James?
notes.
I am screenshots, digital notes kasi keeping the essence of the meeting, ganon.
Grabe.
Okay,
Siyempre, parang wala putol-putol.
Mental notes tayo, Abe, diba? Mental notes.
Going to the next one naman. Yeah, mental notes. Like, screenshot with brain ka na rin. Okay, so next naman. Isahang chat ba kayo o paputol-putol kayo nag-chat na nakakainis? What about you, Simon?
Sige, paputol-putol na lang para wala nang mga away.
Okay.
What about you, Gian? Ikaw naman.
Depende sa kausap pero isahang chat.
Wow.
Chat.
Wild, ah.
Lastly, James, what about you? Isahang chat na paputol-putol.
Paputol-putol para hyper, ganon. Very into it.
Alright. Ito medyo...
Okay, so
Yes.
yun sa kapag chat, pero let's get into the more Gen Z things. Apart from the fast talk questions, for our guests tonight, to have an idea kung paano yung pagiging Gen Z ngayon, sino sa tingin nyo ang mga artists, music artists, that define just this generation? Nabubulol ako. This generation. Ayan.
Let's start
What do you
with...
listen to usually?
Let's start with Gian, ikaw. What's your opinion?
Siguro sikat kasi ngayon sa OPM yung Ben and Ben, tsaka yung si Zach Tabudlo.
Okay.
True. I agree completely. What about you naman, James? Which OPM artist?
I'd say Miss Moira kasi super emotional yung feelings and alam mo naman
Hindi
yung mga Gen
OPM
Z.
muna. Ano muna? Music in general. Regardless kung
Ah,
OPM or
okay.
hindi.
Music in general. Like, emotions pa rin. Like, yes.
Ano?
Yeah, yes. I love that answer. So let's say emotions, diba? Grabe. Lastly,
Ano na,
Master
James?
Simon.
Ako, siguro guys, first muna sa OPM side tayo. I'll go with Arthur Neri. Ngayon, sumisikat siya. He has wonderful songs na talagang makaka-jam mo siya every day and talagang mapapasing along ka. So for international naman dyan, papasok dyan yung mga K-pop groups, namely Twice, Red Velvet, and isama na natin dyan yung isa pang popular, BTS. Bet na bet ng bayan yung mga yan. And
Yeah,
siguro,
grabe.
isa pa si Olivia Rodrigo. Olivia Rodrigo.
Yung
Question, Simon.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Yes.
Nagka-K-pop ka ba, Simon?
Ngayon lang.
Hindi
Okay,
na
okay.
Yun lang.
baka ngayon lang ni-reveal ni Simon yun na nag-K-pop,
Secret
diba?
pa po. Secret.
And of course, Olivia Rodrigo, I heard she's very popular with your generation now. She has very good songs as well. Ayan. So, agree din ako, no? Parang ang daming nahihilig ngayon sa K-pop. It's very mainstream, international. Mapa choreography, mapa kanta. Yan. Very, ano talaga, in. Now, napansin ko rin nga since very tech-savvy ang mga...
On, in my social media management, I really cap it in such a way na I turned off my notifications for Messenger and Facebook and Instagram. Kasi it really gets to me, especially when I study or when I do things, personal things. Sobrang nalulure ako pag may notifications. So, yeah, you could text me if sobrang important. But in managing my social media, it's really important for us, for everyone to like, feel comfortable. So I think that's my way of being comfortable with social media. Ikaw ba, Abraham, since binigay mo sa akin yung mic?
Grabe, thank you naman for the pagpasa. Pero in my side naman, the way I manage my social media, kasi I'm a very mademonyo or madaling mademonyo na person. So kunyari, nagko-homework tayo, tapos bigla, tarakod. Wala na yung homework. Tapon na aside. So when I do, yes, sir, automatic. I'm so sorry. Pero going back, in managing it naman, I decided to parang only unmute specific people or like on yung parang di mag-notify. Pero there are more like madaming people. I'm not saying ko kasi baka masaktan, pero maraming people na hindi ko na, ina-unmute para pag dedemonyohin, titingnan na lang later tapos, catch up tapos demonyo ulit. Ganun.
So,
yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, what you're saying is that nakamute yung mga usually nagdi-distract sa'yo. Tama ba? Did I get that correctly?
Nag-distract and yung mga ayaw.
Tama ba, Abraham?
Next question. Joke. Okay, so, let's say na lang usually nag-distract. Pero, yes. Less about me naman. What about you, Pastor Tuloy, Gian? What about you? What do you think? How do you manage your social media platforms?
Na-hot seat ako. Pero siguro, maganda kasi yung company.
Sige, sa bochos. Joke. What about you naman, Simon? How do you manage?
Well, ako kasi, ang ginagawa ko sa mga SOCMED ko, or yun nga, yung term ng mga Gen Zs ngayon, o SOCMED, siguro, inaano ko siya eh. Pinapatay ko yung wifi ng mga devices ko para pag nag-chat yung mga classmates ko, hindi nila iisipin na in-inbox ko sila, which might hurt their feelings, diba? So, pwedeng inaano ko, tinatanggal ko yung wifi ko para alam nila na, okay, offline to, so baka may lakad or what. Pero, with all honesty, ibig sabihin, I'm focusing to something. It can be extracurricular activities or basically I'm preparing for an exam for the following day. So, yun. Si Jamie.
James?
I don't manage my social media accounts, I think. It's like low maintenance. It can manage on its own, the chart lang. But yung in terms of notifications, naka-open naman yung cellphone ko. It's not him, it's not it's me. Ako yung may problema. Hindi ako nakapag-reply ng maayos kasi, sometimes social media is draining na din. So parang I kind of ignore it, which I'm so sorry for yung mga friends na nag-message sa akin pero di ko na-replyan. I'll get back to you. That's all naman.
Okay. Kasi your generation talaga is defined by the use of the internet. Diba? Would you say that internet now for you is more of a necessity than a privilege?
Sa ano, sir? Feeling ko, sir, hindi naman, sir. Nagbabasa nga ako ng mga books minsan pag gusto ko, sir. Books talaga ako, sir. Hindi po ako masyado mapaglaro sa games. I read mostly yung mga fictional books talaga, sir.
Okay, so meron ka pa rin mga offline alternatives.
Opo, sir.
Alright, that's good. How about you, Simon and James?
For me po siguro, dun sa question na is it a privilege or a necessity na? I think technology nowadays po is a necessity na. Because yung information, nandun na lahat eh. And for a Gen Z like me, you don't want to miss that information. Kasi you really want to be always updated sa mga nangyayari around you. Ayaw mo yung huli ka sa balita, nagkukwentuhan yung mga kaibigan mo, then mapapatanong ko, ano yung pinagkukwentuhan nila? So, basically, being technology or yung social media as a whole ay naging necessity na because everything is there and it can be a bridge for you guys to connect with each other pa more.
Lalo na ngayong pandemic siguro.
Malaking bagay yung technology ngayong pandemic dahil syempre it's our means of communication, not just for education, but of course for our social lives. Yes, James?
For me, on a personal level, I would say it's a necessity. Kasi for me, I'm a really adventurous person, and because of the pandemic, I wasn't able to go out and adventure. So I would say, in this time of pandemic, in a relevant sense, the internet is a necessity because you're able to branch out, you're able to reach new places you have never been before physically. So I would say it's a necessity.
Okay. Anong feeling kapag halimbawa isang buong araw wala kang internet? Anong feeling? For some whatever reason, sa inyo, sa age ninyo, sa mga Gen Z, anong tumatakbo sa utak nyo kapag halimbawa ay may problema yung ISP nyo, yung provider nyo, sinabi bukas pa daw mare-restore yung connection. What goes on in your mind?
Sure, sa akin, feeling ko, dito na papasok si Mr. Anxiousness. Kasi, so, pinangalanan ko na talaga siya kasi, yun nga, minsan I'm experiencing that nga, yung anxiousness. Pero, in a more in-depth explanation, nagiging anxious, for me, I'm speaking for myself as a Gen Z, feeling ko po, nagiging anxious ako if nawawalan ako ng Wi-Fi. For the simple reason na meron pa akong mga responsibilities na manggagawa ko through technology or via Wi-Fi, So, kunyari, may RTC ka and knowing na biglang bumagsak yung Wi-Fi or internet nyo, madedelay yung paggawa mo. So, siguro yung mga plans mo for that day, mamumove.
Delay.
So, madedelay there. So, in that sense po, you're really going to be anxious because yung naplano mo na will somehow be changed or destroyed na pwedeng magbibigay sa'yo ng pressure. So, yeah, that's for me. Si Mr. Anxiousness.
How about you, Gian?
Sir, parang yun nga, nakaka-anxious din kasi parang madami kang nami-miss out. Lalo na sa sinabi ni Simon kanina na, ay baka may sa susunod, di ko alam yung pinagkukwentuhan nila. Yung feeling na gano'n na parang you're missing out sa mga nasa internet or kung ano yung mga nasa social media mo. Pagtingin mo na lang, pagbalik ng Wi-Fi, ay, ang dami na parang information na lumipas tas hindi ka updated. Pero parang siyang may feeling na ang bagal siguro ng oras. Parang hindi ka kasi nadidistract na hindi mo alam kung ano ginagawa mo or something. Minsan tulog ka na lang, tapos doon na lang yung pampalipas oras.
Okay. James?
I would say it's a really near-death experience kapag mawala ng Wi-Fi sa bahay. Kasi as a Gen Z, I've put the internet to my life na. Parang I've already added into my schedules, to my personality. And yeah, I've added it na to the point na if parang nawala to, it's going to change a whole part of me or my day. na let's say yung commissions ko sa Genshin or like yung resin, hindi ko pa nauubos. I have to explore this pa, I have to do this pa. You know, like Master Simon said, there are responsibilities na miss out because of no Wi-Fi, and I'm allergic to no Wi-Fi. So,
Ayan. So siguro encourage din natin yung mga viewers natin. Anong ginagawa niyo pag walang Wi-Fi? Paki-comment sa comment section kung ano yung mga alternatives, offline alternative activities ninyo kapag walan kayo ng Wi-Fi. Ako personally, yung mga just in case moments, may mga naka-download sa aking movies sa phone na hindi ko pinapanood para just in case na mawalan ako ng Wi-Fi, yun ang, sa ganun tatakbo yung oras ko. So may mga 2 or 3 movies dyan sa phone ko na hindi ko siya pinapanood. Mga spare lang talaga. Tapos meron din sa laptop. Para pag na-lowbat yung laptop or whatnot, pag brown out, di ba? Minsan, pag brown out, wala ka nang internet, wala ka pang magawa. So para meron kang naka-reading backup. Ayan. So sabi sa comment section, listen to music. Ayan. O nga naman, pag offline. Lalo kapag naka-Spotify Premium ka naman. 'Di ba? Tapos may downloaded naman yung music mo. So pwede mo siyang ma-access even offline. Spotify baka naman. Ayan. Not a paid ad.
Sir, I'd like to read some comments also from first Alfonso de Gulag kung anong gagawin niya kung wala siyang Wi-Fi. Or anong mangyayari kung wala siyang Wi-Fi. Pag wala daw siyang Wi-Fi, hindi daw siya makakanood ng open mic. Very thoughtful.
Grabe.
Thank you, Fon.
Ipagdasal natin na wag Friday. Pakisabi dun sa ISP nyo, bukas na. Ayusin yung internet ninyo.
And ito pa sir, isa from Carlos Guerra, pag wala daw siyang Wi-Fi, parang bagong adventure kapag nag-explore ng bahay pag walang Wi-Fi. So siguro malaki yung bahay ni Carlos. Kaya madami pa siyang
siguro nakaswing lang siya sa kwarto kapag walang internet, talagang you are more sort of forced to interact with one another kasi wala kayong magawa pare-parehas eh. So mag-asara na lang kayo, magtiisan kayo, and build the bonds that are there with your family members. Ayan. Read novels, kwentuhan with cousins, do house chores according to Miss Ku. Di ba? According naman kay Miss Clarice, wala ka ng Wi-Fi, tas brown out pa, napakasaklap talaga nun. Kaya nga dapat ready tayo dyan. May libro, parang kay Gian.
Opo, sir. Dami ko talagang libro dito, lalo na yung pang-school. Kasi kailangan ko talaga mag-aral.
Anong mga books na binabasa mo, Gian?
Ano mga books yung Gian? Curious din ako eh. Ano yung genre mo? Novels, ganun.
May book ako dito, nawawala kasi. Yung parang...
Talaga nandyan o nawawala?
nawawala, sir. Hindi ko mahanap kasi masyado madaming libro. Kasi wala naman akong favorite book, sir. Siguro kung ano na lang yung available, sir. Kasi I like to read in my spare time talaga.
Okay. Reading during spare time. O nga naman. So, syempre, kapag ganyan, kailangan talaga humanap ng offline alternative. Kasi sa millennials, sa generation namin, we grew up in an internet-free, wala pang internet nun eh. So, kaya namin mag-adjust ng walang internet. So, towards the end na lang naman talaga kami na introduce sa consistent internet connection. Ayan. So, eto challenge ko sa inyong 5. 5 kayo, 1, 2, 6 pa. 5 kayo, 5. Share, nakilala ang Gen Z with your acronyms. Acronyms. Yung mga ginagamit nyo pag nag-chat, yung mga ginagamit nyo pag nagme-message, pag nagpo-post. So para sa mga nanonood na sa atin ngayon na hindi Gen Z na gustong matutunan yung mga ganitong acronyms, can you share one acronym, use it in a sentence, and give an idea how it is used? For example, yung sinabi kanina ni Gian, yung FOMO, I mean, yung kapag wala kang internet, you are afraid of kung may nami-miss out ka sa mga topics, sa mga conversations, at fear of missing out. How about sa iba niyo pang mga encounters? Dami ko nakikitang mga ganyan eh. Pahabaan pa nga ng mga acronyms eh. Whoever would like to go first?
Okay, may mauuna ba?
Wala pa ako maisip.
Feeling ko ready na si James.
Okay, James.
Like,
the first
ready na
James.
si James.
On the top of my head, the only acronym I could think of is yung sa mga text messages. It's FR, yung for real. It's yung in English language, ano siya, it's Tagalog. In Tagalog actually, it's ano siya, yung parang you're asking like, talaga ba? Yung for real, like that. So that's the only thing I have right now.
Alright. So, okay. May nakikita ko nga rin yan, yung FR. Same, siguro ang ano nito, ang isa sa mga kamag-anak nitong acronym na to, yung IRL. What's IRL?
In real life.
In real life.
Real
Okay. In real life.
Very Zoom.
Ano talagang Gen Z sa atin? Ba't di nyo alam?
Very Zoom.
Ako sir, guys, ako, TBH, pinakagamit na gamit yan. Para na nga siyang, it's a cliche na nga yung ginagamit yan, TBH. So, saka isa pa is zigzag. Ano nyo ba yung
H
zigzag?
muna.
Zigzag.
Ay, TBH, TBH, I really want to meet you na.
Ano nga yung TBH?
Ano yung TBH? Ano siya, sure. So, TBH is two, T for two, B for B, H for honest. Yan. TBH.
Ang haba no?
So,
Isa mo pang
saka
siya.
yung isa po yung zigzag. Yeah. Like, yung zigzag, ano siya, isaw talaga siya for Filipinos. Pero, yung ano kasi, yung mga konyo ngayon, nakikita na sa TikTok, like, they're saying na, ano yung zigzag, sir? Parang mga ganun sila. O, tas, isaw pala yan. Okay, sorry. Mga ganun. So, it's kinda, hindi na siya acronym, pero nagiging, ano na.
So, zigzag is the Gen Z term for isaw?
Yes, sir. Opo.
Gen Z.
Opo.
Parang siguro naman sila konyo Gen Z.
Sir Konya, Gen Z lang.
Ayun, konyo Gen Z pala.
Okay. Yun yung Gen Z term for isaw.
Isaw, yes po. Zigzag.
Okay. Pati yung sa kwek-kwek. Ano yung sa...
Neon balls. Neon balls.
Neon
sir.
balls.
And that's neon balls.
Okay, neon balls. Got it.
Tapos sir, sentence actually yan sir. Pag bibili ka sa tindahan, kailangan isang buong sentence yan. Kailangan may pa-rasp pa yun. Tapos gaganito ka. Pare, tara bili naman tayo ng zigzag sa neon balls. Kailangan ganon. Like,
Bagay.
it has to be exact.
Ba't ang bagay? Joke.
Hello?
Okay, moving on. Next acronym.
Gian.
Hariko.
Ako na.
I don't know, sir.
Pero may isa pa sir, acronym talaga siya. Yung hindi ko siya nakakanasan. Sir. Hindi ko siya nakakanasan sir, pero gamit na gamit siya lalo na sa mga couples, yung ILY, yung I love you po. Parang yung feeling na gusto mo maramdaman talaga yun sir. Yun yung feeling ko kung nakikita ko.
Gamit na gamit din ba yun for you, Gian?
Hindi.
Pili ko ginagamit mo din yun eh.
Hindi ko
Ginagamit sa'yo pero hindi mo ginagamit sa kanila.
Opo, sir.
Okay,
Ay,
focus na
nako.
ako. How about you, AIDS? Anong acronym na ginagamit mo most? Like,
Actually, dalawa na isip kong acronym. Kasi una, shout out sa co-host ko, si Rico. He actually introduced to me a Konya word back in grade 10. He taught me the word carbs.
oh my God. Oh no.
Actually,
Kita ko yung
Actually.
action ko.
Wait lang. Sir, alam mo ba ito? Alam mo ba ito?
Alam ko yan.
okay. To explain for those who don't know, kasi nung grade 10, sobrang boomer ko. Hindi ko din alam. So, i-introduce sa akin. Carbs pala actually means practice. Medyo mahabang etymology yan. Pero basically, yung football field naging carpet. Kaya carbs. So pag tatanungin ka, tara carps, kung parang training or go to football field ka noon.
Or since like,
Di ko alam paano yung nagawa, pero
term talaga ng football field is carpet. So parang, I think the etymology of this word is from a different school. Wag na lang natin pangalanan. But it's mostly used as carps ka ba bro? Like when you're asking or inviting someone if magka-carps or magka-practice ba or ano nga yung term names, magba-varsity training, ganun, parang ganun. So,
yeah, training.
that's carps.
Simple put, ang carps ay pinaikling carpet.
Yes, Mr. Yes
Carpet
po.
kasi R-U-G.
Yeah, kasi, yes sir. Kaya sobrang
So,
sobrang
Hindi pa
haba ng
alam.
etymology, nakaka-stress.
salingan on.
Huwag na natin isipin.
Abraham,
Pero talaga may gumagamit nun. I see and hear people use that. But every time I think about how far long it or kung saan siya galing, kung paano siya, ano yung, yun nga yung etymology niya. Next acronym.
sir, that really shows the creativity of Gen Zs. In these kinds of
Creativity.
Really?
Okay, Abes, yung second mo.
Isa pa, ito yung favorite kong word na sinasabi. Alam niyo yung OMG? Kasi before, quick history, I thought before, hindi naman siya thought, I know before na it's bad to use, our Lord's name and 22nd commandment. It's bad to use that. So I edited it to my own version. So imbes na, oh my, pangalan ni Lord, inedit. So imbes na G-O-D, ginawang G-A-W-D. So kailangan may pa-accent yan. So when you're gonna say, oh my gosh, you have to say, oh my God. Kailangan may pa-W.
Yeah. So parang linagyan mo lang ng...
Oo. Pero din yun
Eh, sir.
Alam ko bising.
Second command.
Gosh na lang, sige. Gosh na lang, sir. Gosh na lang. Sige, doon lang ako.
Okay. For me naman, siguro pinaka-gamit ko would be whenever, kunwari, there's a kwento from a friend or may naging conversation sa isang GC and kailangan ko mag-back read. Parang, I normally say, wait, BR me. So parang, wait, back read me. Mag-back read muna ako. Parang gano'n. Nakuha ko yung term na yon I think last year. Yeah, pero I like that word since minsan like I don't see some conversation, so masayang mag-backread pag buo na yung kwento.
Okay. Backread. Ayan. So, very common nga yan, no? Sa mga correspondences, sa mga chat, sa mga messages. That's a very Gen Z thing. Sa mga tweets even. Do you guys believe that this generation, the Gen Z generation, is the TikTok generation? Meaning, actually hindi eh. Nagsimula siya as Twitter generation because of the attention span. Diba? Parang ang TikTok usually 1 minute lang. Ang Twitter ilang characters lang. Since nasanay sa ganong level of attention, do you guys have that also? That kind of thinking, that kind of attention span?
I believe, sir, we should ask first the TikToker in the room. Master James, what do you think about this situation?
First of all, di ako nag-TikTok. Second, I would say I agree na parang the Gen Z, our generation, likes those na parang mabilis lang yung pag-attention, like yung 1-minute videos. Kasi parang there's a lot going on our heads, like everything, the stress of everything and responsibilities. So parang just a few minutes of parang distraction or videos can already get attention from us. Pero actually that kind of accumulates hanggang like mag-isang oras na yung scrolling sa TikTok. So, yes.
Well said, well said. I do agree. Ikaw naman, Gian, what do you think?
Oo, feeling ko din ganun. Kasi may TikToks na, di ba, pag nag-TikTok ka, there's like genres or topics na gusto mo. Parang hashtags ba yun? So parang i-favorite nyo yun para lahat ng lalabas sa For You page, no, mga relatable talaga. So, ganun talaga, parang magtatagal ka talaga since mag-e-enjoy ka talaga sa pag-scroll mo sa news, sa For You page mo talaga. So, yun.
Okay. Thank you, Gian. Simon.
Feeling ko po, TikTok became the way for Gen Zs to express their thoughts to the mass. Kasi I do believe na yung mga Gen Zs ngayon, they are fond of sharing. Parang ayaw nilang sila lang yung nakakadamdam nung na yung pinagdadaanan nila. Gusto nila may kadamay. Gusto nila that someone should empathize them or be with them in their struggles. Pero hindi naman in a bad way, but this TikTok videos helps also those people who are similarly going through dun sa pinagdadaanan ng TikTokers. Pero may times na minsan kasi nakaka-irritate na yung mga TikTok videos na parang napaka-redundant na, tapos sabi ka na lang na, ano ba to? Ba't pa niya TikTok to? Parang, what's the relevance to this video sa buhay ko? Pero, yun nga, parang motto, ang motto dyan, sir, life goes on, pero sa TikTok, scroll goes on. Kasi di ba, scroll ka lang ng scroll, and at times, makakita ka rin ng TikTok video na that will satisfy your day, na parang may sense naman yung video, and you will be satisfied talaga. So, yeah, that's for me.
So tama lahat ng magaganda yung mga insights sa mga guests natin. And also, especially, I would like to reiterate yung mention ni James na ang Gen Z mind talaga ay very, how do I say this, overwhelmed with a lot of things. School, relationship, social media, family, love life. Kaya talaga kailangan lahat mabilis. Diba, siguro pinag-aaralan to sa business with our ABM students. Kapag ang target market mo Gen Z, kailangan lahat mabilis. Lahat striking, lahat multisensory. Lahat ay kailangan ma-deliver. The message should be delivered in a short message. Kapag humaba yan, hindi na siya pagtutuunan ng pansin. Hindi na papansinin. And I would also like to comment on a comment na minention dito na okay lang sana ang problema sa attention span sa TikTok, pero wag sana ginagamit as primary source of information. Tama naman, no? And may sinabi din si Carl kanina on an earlier comment. Thank you, Carl, for pointing it out na parang he hopes that all Gen Zs should know how to fact check. Yan. So that should be everyone's Gen Z thing. So sabi ni Alcy, I watched some TikTok videos that could change our lives and also very helpful as well. And according to Coach Gabs, TikTok for fitness. Ayan. So dahil din sa pandemic, napa-download din ako ng TikTok halfway the year. May nag-recommend sa akin na mag-download ng TikTok. Nanonood siya ngayon. So napa-download ako. Andiyan na siya ever since.
Question, have you done a TikTok before? Like, have you made a video before?
Yes. I have a TikTok account kaming sa guidance.
Ayun, sir.
The dance.
Last year.
Yeah, as in guidance, GUY, then capital dance. Kasi puro dance videos siya. So pag nagkikita-kita kami, we shoot the videos. Buong maghapon, nagsasayaw lang kami para marami kaming content. Pero dahil matagal na kami hindi nagkikita, shout out sa mga kasama ko kay Miss Tin at kay Miss Nive, hindi pa kami nakapag-shoot ulit ng bagong.
Ample po.
Abangan namin next video niyo, sir.
Well, abang lang kayo. Di ba kami nakikita? So, ewan ko na lang. I also have my own personal TikTok na wala, puro kalokohan ko lang yun. Ayun, konti lang naman yung pinapost ko. Nasa drafts lang yun lang.
Sayang. Search ko na sana, sir, mamaya.
Search nyo. Pampadagdag ng views. Just kidding. Pero syempre, TikTok has also been, hindi ako Gen Z, pero I find TikTok entertaining din. Diba? Salamat sa mga Gen Z na active sa TikTok. And I find it entertaining.
You're welcome.
Minsan,
Very
din,
welcome.
to some extent educational, #learn from TikTok. Ayan. So now let's get into the Gen Z things naman ng online classes. Yan. How do you use your social media for educational purposes?
Sige, Gian.
Syempre, for communication sa classmates, pag magpapaturo ka lang ng lesson na hindi mo gets. Like yung ginagawa ko pag hindi ko magets yung ibang lessons, hindi ko sasabihin anong subject yun. Syempre. Pero nagpapaturo ako kay Abraham most likely. So, sobrang thank you Abraham for teaching me talaga. Pero ayun nga sir, for communication talaga siya for school kasi minsan hindi mo alam kung may nakalimutan ka ba or what.
Okay, for communication. How about the others? How do you use your social media for educational purposes?
James, ikaw naman.
Pwede hindi kung wala talaga.
I use social media for educational purposes, partially. Like Master Gian said, it's for communication. I also use Google for more information sa mga lessons. Tapos, kasi sa bahay namin, we don't have TV patrol. Like, hindi na kami nagbabayad ng channel. So, I just rely on Twitter to look for the news and stuff. And yun lang naman so far for social media.
Okay, pati current events sa social media nyo na kinukuha. Okay. Simon?
Siguro sa akin po, yung mga social media, naging sila, pampatanggal ng kaba. Kasi
Tanggal ng kaba.
Yes, pampatanggal ng kaba. Kasi nandito yung support na manggagaling ng mga groupmates mo, ng mga kaibigan mo. And kunyari, pag na-mention nga ni Gian kanina, pwede kang magpaturo habang you're using that specific platform. So, for me, nagamit specifically Discord, no? Naging useful talaga siya sa online class kasi dito mo mas na kakausap yung mga kaibigan mo and sabay-sabay kayong tinatry i-figure out kung ano ba yung pinapagawa ni sir or ni ma'am. Wala tayong pangalan binanggit. Pero iyon nga, naging talaga siya, parang channel for us to help each other. And syempre, mag-appear rin doon yung value of camaraderie as you little by little figure out what's going on dun sa lesson or subject.
Ayan. So, pampatanggal ka ba? Sana lahat ng groupmates cooperative.
Yun lang, sir.
Diba? So, basahin natin yung mga nasa comment section. Watching math tutorial videos. Ayan. And also for other subjects from ALSI. O sa YouTube, marami yan, mga ibang tutorial. Tsaka minsan, di ba, kapag hindi mo na-gets yung lesson, baka may lesson sa YouTube na mas ibang take, ibang POV, or ibang approach na baka yun yung mas effective. Ayan. Meron dito, sabi ni CJ, yung ginaya ng ibang UCSP students, yung Instagram Q&A para makapag-survey for activity. Parang nakalala ko nga to, sumagot ako ng activity nito through Instagram. Supportive tayo eh. Ayan. So marami na siyang uses, especially ngayon na talaga, online class, di ba? So we try as much as possible to maximize the technology, to maximize the applications that we have. And what is the most Gen Z thing that you do when you're in your online class?
Start with James.
What's the...
Ganun din. Pero that's a different story.
How about you, Gian?
Syempre, yun nga, parang din, during class, parang pag may naisip ka talaga, hindi mo mapipigilan na magkwento sa mga tropa mo. So, parang breather na rin yun sa nagaganap na lesson. Parang pag masyadong nahihirapan, magkukwento na lang kayo. Then, pwede rin siguro yung pag mag-recite ka siguro, tapos hindi ka sure, hindi mo memorize yung sasabihin mo. Nilalagay mo na lang sa phone or may na-message mo para maalala mo yung sinasabi. Just like that.
Okay. Simon.
Well, for me po, siguro simulan natin na maximize what you have. So yun, na-maximize ko yung social media or yung internet as a whole. Pag kunyari, may tinanong yung teacher namin na, ano nga ba ang ICT? So, dyan papasok yung, okay, sige. Hindi ko to alam.
Automatic search.
Oo, search agad yan. Wala namang sinabi na, oops, bawal mag-search. Wala namang sinabing ganun. So, you really need to maximize what you have. So, yung mga sources.
Pabilisan mag-search.
Yes, sir. Pabilisan. Diyan na yung maglalabas yung mga keyboard warriors, sir. Yan. So,
Grabe. Sobrang witty naman doon. Magamit nga next recitation. What
Sobrang
about you,
affirming as
Rico?
Simon. Yeah. Sobrang affirming whenever, yun nga, kunwari may question isang teacher din. Like, of course, meron akong like general knowledge about it. Pero, like, syempre, if I want to shed light on more specific things, I search it. Tapos, sobrang affirming na sabihin ng teacher, like, exactly, very good. So, okay, tama yung ginawa. But that for me is my most Gen Z thing. Kasi lahat naman kasi is available on the internet. Post education, post college. So, hindi ko naman walang mali. Okay, Abe.
Sa akin naman, actually, walang kilala, like medyo relate siya kay Pedro, pero wala siya masyadong kinalaman sa inyo. Pero as a person, I would term myself, as you guys know naman, as conceitedly insecure. So parang before a class or during class, accidentally, nagiging mirror yung Zoom camera ko. So, if magulat na lang kayo, nag-ayos ako ng buhok, or if tumitingin ako ng face ko na sobrang lapit, wag na kayo magulat. It's normalized na sa akin. Parang everyday activity. Ganun. Shout out kay Miss Cruz. Grabe, I love this comment. All tab agad. Agree ako dyan.
All tab.
Siguro nga with regards to that, siguro my fellow teachers can relate. Minsan, ako kasi personally, nahahalata ako pag galing Google yung sagot eh. Kapag too technical or hindi siya mukhang natural, kapag ganun na halata mong hindi, or suspiciously hindi naman niya maiisip yung mga ganong terms kapag nagpapadefine ka ng term. Alam mo, minsan hinihiritan ko na bilis mag-Google
Kaya nga before answering, like, based on my perception and in my general knowledge, in my own opinion.
Tapos sir, may isa pang technique dyan, yung tinuro sa amin ni Ms. Tudeo, paraphrasing. So para yung technical terms, search mo na din, di ba? Para dire-diretso ka ng hindi gaano katalino, hindi matalino yung sagot. Like, eksakto lang, perfect sa teacher, gano'n.
Actually, I would appreciate paraphrasing. Kasi that would mean, iintindihin mo yung statement and you're going to restate it in the way you understood it. So that would imply retention. Kaya kahit sabihin mong definition yan at gusto mo siyang hindi mag-sound technical, hindi mo siya mare-rephrase kung hindi mo siya iintindihin. 'Di ba? Hindi mo siya mapaparaphrase kahit sabihin mong itetesaurus mo lahat ng salita. Ganon din, iintindihin mo din pag dudugtong-dugtungin niyo din siya. And it would imply a certain level of understanding to the concept. Kaya okay din na pinaparaphrase. Mas okay pa na pag pinaraphrase kaysa sa verbatim, word per word, naka-open sa ibang window yung yung definition mo sa Google, tapos babasahin mo lang outright. Tapos pag pina-explain sa'yo, hindi mo rin kayang ma-explain. Ayan.
I'd like to share lang, Sir Ron. There was a time when Sir Earnshaw asked our class parang isang what is ganito, and sabi niya lang na just type it in the box, then naka everyone yung chat ng lahat, so pagka-send ng messages ng isa't isa. Uh, like word per word, pare-parehas yung pinagsasend. That
So
was us.
palaka.
And humirit din si Sir Ernso na pare-parehas yung source namin.
Of course. Yes. See, it was his way of checking, 'di ba? Kung unless talagang parang that was the task to search for that specific concept or topic. Yeah, so that's indeed very Gen Z because information is at your fingertips. 'Di ba? It's very accessible. Parang, diba, parang may narinig nga ako ngayon na parang wala ka ng excuse maging ignorante. 'Di ba?
Opo, sir.
Wala ka ng excuse maging ignorant because information is very accessible. You just have to filter out with integrity which one is credible, which source is credible. Yun na lang ang challenge dun eh. Which one should you believe and which one should you not believe? Ayan. How about, nandun na rin naman tayo sa integrity, nandun na rin naman tayo sa fact-checking. What's your take on fake news?
Simon, gusto mo na?
Sure, sige. Fake news. Okay, isa na yan sa pinag-uusapan talaga ng ating society nowadays. Kasi dahil sa fake news, no, people are yung attention ng people nadadivert. So napupunta sila sa isang bagay na hindi naman yun yung katotohanan. So fake news is really parang, what term is that? Parang nagiging
Diversion?
Or parang di-deceive. Yun ba yun, sir? Tama ba yun? Di-deceive yung tao. Parang naloloko na ito yung tama. Pero the true meaning is right behind the corner. Pero dahil sa mga babato ng mga taong bayan, that authentic and genuine information is being covered up. So, ang take ko siguro po sa fake news is we need to really do our best as educated individuals to prevent this fake news from happening.
Okay, thank you, Simon. How about Gian and James?
Siguro sa akin, sir, yun nga. Parang may lesson kasi sa amin si Sir Ernso dati na parang we need to find isang fake news. Tapos alamin dapat namin kung bakit siya fake. And through that task mismo, parang natuto ako na kailangan read each information and search mo rin yung yung parang secondary source niya. Para alam mo talaga yung true news or yung totoo, yung reality or yung real news about it. So kailangan huwag tayo laging ma-deceive sa una nating makikita.
Yes, James?
For me, fake news is very deadly. Kasi nakakasira siya ng tao, the reputation and everything. An example of this is a running president candidate, which is di ko na name drop. May mga sinasabi siya through like statements. Pero yung mga trolls, gumagawa sila ng fake news by cherry picking the words na parang it makes that person look bad or like is saying something very unintelligible when in fact they're actually telling something very relevant and is actually needed for the time. So yun nga, fake news could destroy a reputation, careers, and everything. And this is why fact checking is really important, especially nowadays where information is accessible. Kasi may mga tao, like ako talaga, I admit na parang sa unang kita pa lang, dun kaagad ako naniniwala. Kasi minsan din nakakatama din kasi like mag-search and everything. Kaya this is why news should always be truthful and dapat yun nga, fact checking para everyone is informed at first sight and everyone is receiving the same factual information and not just opinionated and fabricated.
Okay. Natutuwa ako na ganyan yung take nyo, no? Na it's a good skill. Diba? It's a good skill to have as a Gen Z individual. Kasi since you're exposed to these kinds of of news and information para alam nyo how to fact check. Sabi nga ni James kanina na may mga trolls, cherry picking, yung mga ganyan. Sometimes words are taken out of context. 'Di ba? Para mabigyan ng ibang definition, mabigyan ng ibang meaning, mabigyan ng um, ma ma-modify yung context sa kung ano yung favorable sa opposing end. 'Di ba? Parang ganoon. So, aside from checking the facts, we also check the bigger picture, the context. 'Di ba? Ano ba talagang sinabi? Paano ba talaga sinabi? Baka naman the tone plays a part in it. Baka naman merong disclaimer na sinabi beforehand that could have explained it further or could have explained kung merong premise yung statement. Yan. So that's good, no? And I would also like to share na meron akong contemporary, meaning millennial like me, tinanong in an interview also before, same question, what's your take on fake news? Ang sagot nitong, hindi ko makakalimutan yung sagot nung friend ko na to, regarding fake news. Ang sagot niya, I was brought up in a Catholic school and my values are intact. Therefore, I will only believe those who are aligned to my own values. Parang ganun. Kung paano ako pinalaki, kung yung with integrity, to check the facts with integrity, with the values that are aligned with how I was brought up, considering that I was brought up in a Catholic school. So maganda yung naging sagot niya, kaya very memorable sa akin yung time na yon. Ayan. So with that aside, so sana tuloy-tuloy yan, no? At may parang intense din yung mga comments sa atin na parang may nagsabi, fake news is a tool that could be weaponized against others. It's dangerous and should be avoided. Sabi nga ni James, deadly. The term ay deadly. Dapat maturuan lahat ng tao ng information and media literacy. So, pwedeng magandang projects yan in the future for Loop, for SG, na outside. 'Di ba? I mean, for those na, kasi sa senior high, meron naman talaga media and information literacy na subject. Pero meron naman tayong mga let's say out of school youth, mga ganyan, or other programs na pwedeng magturo sa mga, let's say, public school students, pang-intensify nung kung anong meron sila. Yeah. So that could be ideas for another day. Ayan. So very rich yung topic natin tonight. Would you agree, my fellow hosts?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I really appreciate the views of our guests, especially yung mga nanonood din. For example, Carl, very firm in their belief towards and against fake news, especially na we took Surge's class back in grade 11 and a specific lesson on fake news and discerning what's the truth. So I really appreciate and really hope na more people, more students like us really fact check things, especially na palapit na tayo sa 2022 elections. So that's really important. How about you, Abe's?
So I'm very proud to be part of the Gen Z kasi, from us right now, we are manifesting, di ba? We are manifesting our capabilities and our knowledge in, being outspoken. We are able to speak and we are able to talk about different types of social issues, problems, prevalent, na mga nagaganap in our society today. Kaya, we should be scared and we should be mag-ingat towards the things that we are gonna say, we still are able to speak up for ourselves. Oh yeah pala, I saw in the comments a while ago, pa-shoutout naman dyan by Sir Lozada. Guys, sa venue ko, greet natin si Sir Lozada.
Sir Lozada, late na siya.
Late na, sir.
Sir, isa pa, di ba? Para birthday naman eh. So, 1,
Hey, Sir
2,
Lenny.
3.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, sir.
Birthday,
O,
sir.
diba?
Ayan.
Yes.
So banking on what Abraham mentioned, no, na being part of the Gen Z. Ang masasabi ko lang dyan, sana all. I mean, sana lahat ng Gen Z ganyan. Kasi from how I see it also, um, there are still members, or I mean Gen Z
Zoomers.
people, like people your age, who still need to be further educated as far as these matters are concerned. Minsan yung iba pang Gen Z, sila pa yung trolls. Sila pa yung nag-share ng fake news. So, what I like about what you guys are saying is that at least with you, hopefully, the integrity is safe. Diba? Ang kailangan na lang namin problemahin to be proactive is those outside our circles. Diba? Na you guys are able to grasp what yung mga tinuturo, mga lessons, how you should share with integrity, how you should behave online, and so on and so forth. Pero sana let's also use our influence for those who still need to be further educated.
Yes.
That's the challenge for us. It should not stop with us. Dapat i-expand pa natin yan. Diba? So, dahil dyan, let's move on to your pet peeve with regards to online behavior. Aside from fake news.
Okay.
Wala sasagot ng aso babanatan ko yung sasagot.
Let's start
Pet peeve.
with, sino may gusto ba mauna?
Ano yung mga irking behavior, yung mga nakakairitang yung mga nakikita nyo na naiirita kayo pag nakikita nyo sa online? Whoever would like to go first, you may jump in.
Yan.
Sige. Siguro yung mga toxic environment sa social media siguro. Yung parang kapag makikita mo yung comment sa Facebook, parang ang toxic nila, yung di nila alam yung perspective siguro na nag-post. Yun yung lagi kong iniisip. Parang bago kayo mag-comment ng ganyan, intindihin nyo muna siguro yung perspective ng nag-post. Kaya yun lang yung pet peeve ko, yung mga toxic environment. Lalo na sa mga laro games.
Okay.
What about you, Simon? What do you think? What is your most hated or pet peeve about the social media?
Nako, same kay Gian. Yung mga toxic talaga, yung to a point na parang they are really disregarding yung opinion ng iba. Yung tipong, I don't think it's the right word, pero they're contradicting it. Yung tipong the person is just sharing his or her thoughts, pero at the same time, parang sinisiraan niya rin yung tao. I wish sana man lang yung comments niya would be filtered out, na-filter out yung mga negative words, especially pag yung minumura niya yung tao na mismo na parang, wala kang kwenta, di naman yan yung totoo. Pero I hope you keep your opinion to yourself muna because the internet is a huge spectrum or space wherein everybody can see what you're saying. So some people may agree on you, but some will also be opposed or will disagree on you on what you're saying. So siguro yung behavior talaga na being toxic and just giving out or you're showering your thoughts out of the blue and at the expense of someone, well, that's one of the things na kinaiinisan ko, a pet peeve during this online setting.
Okay. How about you, Jamie?
So, ganun din actually yung answer ko. I'm being so unoriginal. Pero, another toxic trait na lang na nakita ko is, I think everyone knows how cancel culture works. And, yun yung ayoko sa the online setup. Kasi, people, wait, paano ba yun? The cancel culture, yun, people disregard progress and everything. Kasi, syempre, those are people na you wouldn't see parang physical. So parang on the online setup, parang everyone has this power of anonymity na they can say whatever they want kasi di naman sila kilala in online and like in the real world. Nababala ako. Real world. So ayun, I'd say yun yung naiinis ako kasi um, people are canceling or people are disregarding opinions and progress ng tao kasi it's not being aligned to their beliefs na parang just because you say this, it parang let's say basically just
Yeah.
that, like
We get it.
disregarding.
How
Yeah.
about you?
Understand.
Siguro, medyo parang nakikita ko na gusto mo sumagot.
Yes, actually, oh my God, kiting-kati ako. Joke. Okay, so there are two instances or pet peeves I actually have. Isa, actually, kinoment ni Master Carl S. Guerra as well. Buti hindi ako nag-isa dito. The act of scene zoning someone. Like, do you guys ever experience that? Like, for me, as a person, I mute specific people or groups, for projects. But I reply, or when I scene, I reply and cooperate or like give my ideas, outputs, yung task ko, part ko. But I don't understand why people have to see get away, get away. Kasi yes, overthinking is something prevalent and I don't like it. That's another thing. Actually shared the same sentiments again with Master Villanueva. Yung when people do body positivity or parang do things to inspire others, but in reality, they aren't really doing what they preach. So it's actually part of cancel culture as well, aside of cancel culture in Master Pineda, na kunwari, in TikTok, people are gonna post pictures or parang photos of their body na I'm fat, ganun, or I'm ganun. Then, pupunta siya sa comments, tapos maghahanap ng petty comments, tapos it's gonna condone him or her. And she, in her life, won't do anything about it. So, it's just annoying na parang you have to get affirmation from other places or affirmation na you're doing good. And in reality, pinopost mo lang para, mapasaya ka. You're not doing any change. You're not contributing change to society or to yourself as well. Diba? What
Tama.
about you, Master? What's about it naman?
For me, siguro just one pet peeve of mine, and it's really based on my experience, as I was the one who did it. Feeling ko kasi like Gen Zs are really given the option, especially in the social media platform na, for example, we can delete posts, we can hide people for them not to see our posts, or we can block them. Ganun. Especially when now na palapit na yung elections, yung general elections in 2022, I I blocked a schoolmate of mine kasi nainis ako sa views niya or nainis ako sa mga sinishare niya sa Facebook. And in that sense na I was given the option to block someone, na-realize ko now, before pa naman, in-unblock ko na siya. Na-realize ko lang na even though my perception to what is right is not really aligned to what their truth is, dapat there is still another choice to do something else. Parang ganun, na di mo naman kailangan mag-block. Pero based on my experience, my emotions got the best out of me. So, I'm sorry to that, Lucian. Add friend na lang kita ulit in the near future.
In the near future, soon pa. Yes.
Parang di halata. Okay, so
Yan tayo
ano naman.
Ang pet peeve ko online, yung mga clout chasers. Yung mga may ma-post lang for clout when it's actually triggering people already. Diba? It's parang hindi aligned sa values ko specifically, yung mga ginagawa niya or nila, all for the sake of clout. That's what I don't like about yung mga yan na-irk ako sa mga ganong behavior online. Isa pa, excessive online display of affection?
Yes, sir.
Oh my gosh, sir.
Oh my God. Sobrang relate. Yung sobrang daming mga emojis, tinadtad ng mga jejemon. Oh my God.
Hindi
Ba't
lang
parang
yun.
yung triggered? Pet peeve ko, di ba?
Sorry, akin.
O, yun nga. So, okay lang naman every once in a while. Wag lang excessive. Kaya yung term ko ay excessive. Yung marami ng pictures, long message pa yung yung kasama, na parang kada scroll mo sila yung lumalabas sa feed mo. Okay. Unfollow.
Joke.
Hindi naman block.
Joke lang.
Unfriend lang. Unfriend.
First time ko nag-block yun. So, fight lang tayo.
Post. Mga long post. Show less, show more.
May research paper nga sir na ginawa like a love letter. Parang anniversary gift. Nakita niyo ba yun?
Yeah. So, pero sweet naman kasi yun. Kasi proposal ata for marriage yun or proposal mag-GF. So, ewan ko ba't niya pinost. Pero, sweet naman
That's
yung
their way of
idea.
showing their love. So, let's respect them. Pero I read
Tama.
the comment section from Rev. Social media offers us a very public platform. What's crucial is to use that platform responsibly. So, really relatable as Gen Zs and millennials also.
Actually, there's another comment from Rev. He stated that using soft med should not replace real relationships or compensate inadequacies in our relationships. Soft med can enrich or help, sustain relationships, but ought never be an alternative, which
Right.
is very true because we shouldn't replace, the things we had before with the things we have now. Knowing online na madaming just there for play, not di nagsiseryoso. It is really very important that we should be able to separate reality from our social media accounts.
Speaking of relationships, how do you guys stay in touch with your friends? Ngayong pandemic especially. How do you guys still bond?
Simon, sige.
Siguro sir, sa relationship aspect ngayong online setting, I've mentioned a while ago yung Discord yan. One of the platforms talaga yan where nakakausap ko yung mga kaibigan ko dyan. And yun, we were able to bond with each other, play online video games na that really parang nag-feel dun sa missing dun sa gap doon dahil sa physical, dahil bawal nga tayo magkaroon ng physical interaction, no? Parang those games became the alternatives para yun, we still can be able to bond with each other. Pero one more thing is nagkaroon ako ng realization during this pandemic na yung mga kaibigan mo, physical and non-physical or online, dito mo makikilala yung mga magsistay talaga or yung mga kaibigan talaga na that is true to you and hindi lang parang habol sa'yo, fame or whatnot. Pero dito mo makikilala yung mga kaibigan mo na magsistick sa'yo dahil they accept who you are and they accept how you present yourself to everyone or to the world. So yeah, and that's sa akin.
Very insightful. Ikaw naman, Gian.
Before I answer, shoutout nga pala kay Francis Gonzalez. Pero siguro there are two situations na nangyari. One is nung summer is yung medyo nag-die down na yung pandemic for a bit, unti lang. A short period of time. Nakasama ko sila Jello Giwan para makipag-training sa may Greenwoods. So, yun na rin yung first ever meet ko face-to-face with another Rhodesian person. So, parang nakita namin parang may slight changes talaga since.
I keep in touch by randomly calling any time of the day. Like, magpapasaway ako, tapos parang tatawagin ko yung friends ko. Especially si Kino. thank you for keeping up with my kalikutan and stuff. Sorry for acting like that. It'll happen again. I'll call you later or something. But yeah, other than calling, I'm always also reaching out. Parang I'm always talking to my friends and everything. And then I keep the friendship alive and well by, just being myself and like sharing whatever's happening on in my life or making jokes or playing with them or interacting with them. Ganun lang. Parang it's more of like real world interactions pero this time it's online setup na. And yun na naman so far.
Actually,
Okay,
very
so,
true.
ulit.
Yes. Actually, sir, alam niyo ba, victim din ako ni James. Kasi out of the day, like, alam mo yung tipong tulog pa ako, pero mag-call, nasa CR pa ako, naliligo, or may ginagawa, Well, I really appreciate I'm not complaining kasi for me as a person, I'm a very busy person. I really appreciate people who, out of nowhere call me for no exact reason. Gusto lang ako makausap. It's very heartwarming ganun na parang, ay, gusto niyo ako kausap like that. What are your thoughts naman, Master Rico?
Based on what you say, siguro expect a call later, Abe. Joke. But especially now na we're in an online setup na, well, napansin ko and na-realize namin ni Abe na we grew very distant, yet we still kept intact in such a way na kahit hindi kami nag-uusap on a daily basis, na we still know what happens with each other and family problems, love life, or what. Pero, yeah, since wala nga kaming like, or hindi similar yung friend groups namin since he's in STEM and I'm in ABM, na-realize ko lang na, yeah, very fruitful pa din na once in a while, like we get to chat, we get to call once a week. And that in and of itself is very good na for me na kahit once in a while, we get to talk. And to my my friend group from EBM, or a shout out to them to Focus Lang group. Focus Lang na ayun, Discord, games paminsan-minsan, and for example, Minecraft or Roblox. Whenever you see your friend virtually, parang, uy, andito ka din. Parang ganun. So parang, it's really,
Ano ulit?
like, parang kagani sa nakikita kami in Minecraft na like sobrang saya na susuntukin mo siya, ganun. Or basta parang ganun. And that for me is really essential, especially na hindi kami nakikita physically. Okay na yun for me. And I really appreciate all of my friends.
Ayan. So sabi nga ni Rev, well, it happens. That's what's hard when we only read without hearing the voice. We can bring in nuances that are unintended. But what's important is not that we don't have problems, but that we overcome them well. So, syempre the online platform, since nandyan yan, let's maximize so that we can still, kumbaga, not treat it as a problem, but a way to overcome those problems. So, kahit hindi tayo nakikita-kita, we have Discord, we have games, so we still have ways on how we can get in touch with one another. Ayan. So, as our episode is coming to a close, I would like to ask you guys first, one of our last questions. What do you think is the strength of a Gen Z Lordician? What do you think is the strength of a Gen Z Lordician? Yung halimbawa kapag graduate tong Lordician na to, or even habang nasa undergoing formation pa siya sa school, as a Gen Z, as part of the Gen Z, anong strength niya? Anong strength nyo as a Gen Z Lordician?
Medyo mahirap yung tanong ni Sir.
Pang international level.
Pang international?
Talaga, excellence tayo, di ba?
Oo, tama. Dahil
Grabe,
dyan, sir,
yes.
ako na mauna.
Wow.
Yes.
Grabe.
Pampa-ending, di ba? Pampa-ending. So, siguro one of the strengths na I would really think na evidence sa mga Lordician is resiliency. Because personally, as a Lordician, I was able to overcome things while being in the online setting. No, I was able to know myself better kahit I was experiencing hardship. So siguro masasabi kong hardship really does help you know yourself better and more. And I wouldn't be here, no, if it wouldn't because of the problems or struggles I've encountered along the way. And siguro hindi ko ayokong sabihin na I hate na bakit ko yun pinagdaanan, but I am thankful for those hardships na dumaan sila sa buhay ko because they made me the person I am today. And it's something that we should contemplate talaga eh. Kasi at the end of the day, these problems would be the one who's going to help you be the person you can be sa future, no, pag meron ka ng profession. And integrating rin yung mga values na palaging tinuturo sa atin ng ating mga teachers and ng LSM community na we should always be excellent in everything we do, especially wag rin natin i-disregard or i-overlook yung character natin as we present ourselves to people. Wag tayo masyadong maging opinionated kasi Filipinos are really indeed being nagiging opinionated na talaga. Pero yung mga values ng LSM, we should really put them in our hearts and minds because this will not affect just our community, but it can also help the Philippine society to its betterment, no? And we can also influence those people who are living under the poverty line. So that's all for me.
Wow! Parang talagang hugot na hugot yung sagot ni Simon. Resiliency, that's a very nice answer because syempre sa Gen Z ngayon, Gen Zs are also sometimes called sulkers. Mahilig magmukmok, mahilig yung sad boy culture. 'Di ba? You guys are familiar with that, yung sad
Yes.
boy culture. Na syempre if you are resilient, you wouldn't even resort to that kind. That wouldn't be an option. You'll know how to pick yourself up, bounce back from whatever hardship you're going through. And tulad ng sabi nga ni Simon, I'd like to emphasize that you always um, parang still consider character above all. Yeah. Thank you, Simon. How about Gian?
Siguro yung isang Gen Z trait as a relation na maganda sa amin is yung bibigyan kong emphasis yung quote or yung motto ng school, yung be a brother to all talaga. So parang even if you don't know specifically that new student, parang magiging close mo rin siya in the end since ganun kaming mga Lordations is hindi kami mapili kung sino yung kasama o kausap. Basta we will find a way to connect with that person, to relate with that person. Na magagamit talaga namin to when we grow up. Kasi hindi naman lagi na magkakasama kami, same person yung kasama nyo. So, development din siya for us when we grow up. Lalo na pag-college. So, iba-iba na rin yung schools namin. And we need to understand that hindi laging magkakasama kami magtutropa once college reaches us.
Okay, so be a brother to all pa din. Siyempre, kahit anong platform pa yan, di ba? Mapayan ay online or face-to-face. Mapayan ay nasa Zoom, sa Discord, or kahit saan pa yan. Lurdations are adaptable. Diba? Lurdations are adaptable and we can easily adjust to the people and to the personalities that we encounter. Yan. James, nakuhanan ka ba ng answer ni Gian? Kailangan mo magpalit.
Exactly, sir. So kaya, nag-isip ako ng bagong sagot. So, being original. Love that. So, yun dapat talaga is being a brother to all. Pero I'm going with becoming like Christ. So, Gen Z for me is what people call it as the woke generation. So, everyone in this generation is now more open to beliefs, other religions, other info and news. And syempre that also includes yung cancel culture. That's the thing that's happening, and that's a toxic trait. And for Lordesians, we overcome this by becoming like Christ, by helping one another. Ayun, we enable their ability to become like Christ.
All right, point well taken, James. So when we say becoming like Christ, that's our philosophy of life and education, di ba? If that is our guiding principle in whatever we do, may it be online or face-to-face, we'll always do things with integrity. Yan. So parang kailangan yun yung guiding principle natin in interacting with people, building relationships, posting, 'di ba? Posting content, posting your opinions. You have to be always guided by that. Ayan. So thank you so much. And Abraham and Rico, pakibasa yung mga comments ni Rev.
Okay, so first of all, let's read the long comment of Rev. So he said that this pandemic is tragic, but in a sense, it could not have come to a better generation. Gen Zs have so much at their fingertips to cope, thrive, and overcome this pandemic's social toll, especially the physical separation. It is up to the Gen Z how to use the communication tools at their command to be resilient and ride through the most difficult moments of this pandemic, which is extremely and very heartfelt.
Right. And appreciating niya yung sagot ni Simon, ni Gian, especially yung sa sagot ni James na and no one is more truly woke than our Lord. He actually woke from death, never to sleep in it again. So let that guide the woke culture. Yeah. So last question. Can you throw our last question, Rico and Abe's?
Okay, Abraham, you can do it.
So guys, as we are ending now, what is your message to the younger Gen Zs of the Lordesian community? What would you want to say? What are your sentiments that you want to share?
Considering na kayong tatlo, yung mga guests natin, even our hosts are all grade 12 students, so lahat yan ay younger sa inyo. What's your message to the younger Gen Z Lordesians?
So you're part of fair, pero di naman maagawan ng idea. So let's start now naman.
Kay
James. Kasi so kanina parang lahat ng idea na ako eh.
Oo
So
na.
let's start with James naman right now.
The only message I'd give to the next generation. Kala mo mamatay na. Di pa ako matanda, okay? Pero the next generation, I would like to say na everyone is capable of growth, and I seriously hope that you would not take that away from anyone. Kasi everyone has their own time and pacing. So I would like na you could respect that kasi that's them. That's not your life. You're not entitled to their lives, and you need to respect their place, their zones, and everything. So #consent.
Okay. Thank you, James.
And it's very well said and very true naman talaga. Consent is really something very important. And now moving on, Gian, ikaw naman.
What
do you
Gian,
think
what is your
is
message
statement?
to the younger Gen Z Lordesians as a fellow Gen Z Lordesian?
Siguro make the most out of your years in LSM. Kasi especially na graduating batch kami, sobrang na-enjoy ko yung time ko in LSM since grade 1 ako nandito. And as young as the people are in LSM, sana i-enjoy nyo, lalo na dahil kami, siguro namalas kami no, dahil pandemic. So most of our time is in online class. So yun lang, gusto ko lang sabihin na i-enjoy nyo. Kapag nag-face-to-face kayo, i-enjoy nyo talaga since yun nga, hindi kayo magtatagal as one tropa, as one group. In college, mag-iiba na yung schools nyo, you will take different paths. And yun, make the most out of it nga, and make the most out of the motto of being a brother to all talaga.
Thank you, Gian. Very well said.
And definitely, Simon, what's your answer? What's your message to
Siguro may message, no? Message to the next generation is take it easy. No? Take it easy, guys, na even though na ang bilis, fast pacing yung ano natin, yung nangyayari sa mundo ngayon, but please, no, let us always put in mind all the values that the LSM has given to us or instilled in us, no. Yun nga, 'di ba? One of our mission is to follow the footstep of Christ or to become like Christ. And let's do that. Let's humble ourselves in this trying time and be accountable, responsible in everything we do, just like what our Lord Jesus Christ did. That we can rely on. And that would be
Grabe, Simon.
Thank you, Simon.
Yes, very enlightening.
Talagang very rich and insightful yung mga sharing ng mga guests natin for today. So sana yung mga nanonood sa bahay, palakpakan niyo po yung mga guests natin. Rico and Abraham, pasalamatan natin sila ngayong gabi.
Grabe guys, thank you for really making this show a very wonderful and a very, fruitful episode. We are able to now know the deeper side of the Gen Zs, mostly in the audition scale, and we are able to look into the different aspects and different characteristics that we in a generation have possessed, and we know the positives and negatives of it.
Yes.
Rico?
Thank you, Abraham. For me naman, I really learned a lot in this episode of Open Mic. I really thought na my knowledge on Gen Z is very rich already, but basing on everyone's experiences, collective experience on, especially during the pandemic, nakita ko na marami din pala akong experiences na kailangan na-explore na hindi lang ako yung nakakaintindi. But this episode really showed me na how Gen Zs really are capable, and in the near future, although we have our own flaws, I think we'd very we'd very much be relevant, and as sabi nga ni Rev kanina na there's so much more in our fingertips, and let's use our platform, let's use our power in our capability in changing this society that we live in, especially that we're growing, we're getting old. So, ayun, Sir Mike.
So indeed, no, this episode, thank you ulit sa mga guests natin for tonight. This episode has been very rich with insights. I hope marami ding natutunan yung mga nanonood sa atin ngayon kasi like Abraham and Enrico, marami din akong natutunan from your perspective, from your own point of view. Mas naintindihan ko how you guys work, what goes on in those Gen Z minds of yours. Mas naintindihan ko how you guys operate. Pero ang masasabi ko lang, syempre, sabi nga ni Rev kanina, it wouldn't have come to a better generation kasi kayo guys kayo yung tech savvy. Diba? Dito sa pandemic, kayo yung tech savvy, kayo yung makaka-adjust, kayo yung kayang mag-maximize sa kung anong meron tayo ngayon. And lastly, I would like to thank our guests for your openness. Diba? Very natural, very insightful, kaya maraming salamat. And also, sabi rin ni Rev kanina na online relationships should not replace physical relationships pa din. It can be our substitute for now, an alternative for now, but it should definitely not replace that. Iba pa rin yung may personal touch. Iba pa rin yung nagkikita kayo, iba pa rin yung nag-uusap kayo, iba pa rin yung you get to interact naturally. And most especially, I would like to leave you guys with this message. Kindness knows no age. Okay? Values know no age. Mapa ikaw ay boomer, millennial, Gen Z, you operate by your values. Be good to one another, may it be online or face to face. And for the Gen Zs na madalas online, the power is yours. Sabi nga nung isa sa mga favorite kong, syempre din yun na inabutan yun, si Captain Planet, yung lagi niyang sinasabi. The power is yours. You are the future movers and shakers of our society. Kayo ang mag-make or break ng future natin, ng future ng society, ng future ng country. So again, I hope you continue to live with integrity, you continue to live with the values that have been taught with you, even outside LSM, because that's where the challenge would really happen. Okay, so once again, thank you so much, guys. Thank you to my co-hosts for tonight. Thank you for
Guys,
the beautiful exchange of ideas, the exciting banter. It was fun. It was fun sharing this episode with you, Rico and Abraham. So, bago natin talagang tapusin na tong episode na to, what should our viewers look forward to with regards to the SG and the Loop?
Actually, for the SG, since it's already project proposal week, next week, when we arrive to school, handa na kayo sa mga pasabog na projects and outputs. What about you,
May
Rico?
mga, ano muna yung mga sample projects na propose natin, yung mga project tayo for Discord, mga tutorial projects, Christmas party, fundraising, yan yung mga in store for the student government. And Rico?
For the Loop naman, but definitely thank you, Loop and SG, and the people behind Open Mic for making this episode possible. For Loop, a little sneak peek to the third episode of the Malupitang animations. And sa mga viewers natin, it's titled Sharing is Caring. So definitely look forward to that. Our own artist is here, James. So thank you, James. And on the other hand, we are also launching a new project called A Day in the Life. So I'm really looking forward to that project of Loop, and I'm really excited. And so I think that marks the end of our open mic episode number 4, titled Okay Zoomers, a show by Vincent for Lourdesians.
A stage to let your views, insights, and stories be heard.
Giving you a louder voice, this is your open mic. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.